Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for the support. I mean, like I've been mentioning pretty much every other video, the support has been crazy over the last few months. All the new subscribers, we've gained so much. And I do appreciate all of you guys that are checking out the videos, subscribing, follow me on my other forms of social media. We got to do patrons. A lot of stuff that has been happening over the course of the last month that sort of signifies or highlights the growth more so that we've had on this channel, man, and just me as a commentator and creator, and you know, it's just been awesome, and I appreciate you guys' support. With that being said, today we're going to be discussing this open letter that was recently put out, and I saw it on like the sidebar thing on my Twitter. And if you've seen my Twitter, like I have my Twitter set in like Indonesia or something weird like that because I don't like to be really in the know. But this was there for some reason. I don't like to be in the know on like certain like hot topics, right? And they had an opportunity, man. They had an opportunity. Basically what happened was open letter basically saying that they're against cancel culture, like the deal of social action, right? This is what happens on this. Okay. It says an open letter calling for the end to cancel culture signed by J.K. I never know how to say it. Rowland, Margaret Atwood, and many more. Stirred a debate. And I see that definitely when I know J.K. has been dealing with this just odd thing with that you know, the alphabet community. I was like, okay, that's a good thing, right? That's something that's noble, and maybe the pendulum is going to start swinging the other way. But that's not what happened at all, and they completely ruined it within the first paragraph. They ruined everything that they had to stand up. This was a great opportunity for people that had been involved in, you know, writers, your beloved educators, which have signed this, actors, commentators, to come together and say, we got each other's back. All of this stuff with cancellation culture is got to stop, right? Great opportunity to do that. And that would have been something that I would have been like, you know what? I'm with you on that, right? It's getting pathetic. It's getting out of hand. People are being, you know, trying to come for people's livelihoods, both big, small. And it's unacceptable. Because you're coming for the livelihood for like the most smallest odd things. And I'm like, come on, man. We got to do better than this. Now, if they did like an actual crime of aggression, right, then that's one thing. These fools are getting bent out of shape over someone saying a word 30 years ago, right? All right. But nonetheless, this is what it says. Our cultural institutions are facing a moment of trial. Powerful protests for racial and social justice are leading to overdue demands of police reform, along with wider calls for greater equality and inclusion across our society, not least in higher education, journalism, philanthropy, and the arts. Started off kind of rough there. I'm like, oh, okay, where y'all going? But this needed reckoning has also intensified a new set of moral attitudes and political commitments that tend to weaken our norms of open debate and toleration of differences in favor of ideological conformity. And I'm like, that's right. A lot of people want to be comfortable. A lot of people want to just ostracize and put out. And by put out, I mean like get you off the platform. If your words, your ideals, the philosophy that you adopt disagrees with theirs in any way, shape, or form. They just want you gone. They don't want to debate you. They don't want to have a conversation with you. They certainly don't want to have any like cordial dialogue in that regards. They're incapable of doing that anyway. This is why they're so hell bent on just, I want them to shut up. We got to get him up out of there. I deem him as the most dangerous, evil person that I possibly heard, as well as the most dangerous, evil sons of guns. And we just get them off the platform. Then I don't have to worry about debating ideas. So that, in which they say, is a decent thing. Sounds good. Check this out. As we applaud the first development, we also raise our voices against the second. The forces of illiberalism are gaining strength throughout this world and have a powerful ally in Donald Trump, who represents a real threat to democracy. But resistance must not be allowed to harden in its own brand of dogma or coercion with right-wing demagogues already exploiting. The democratic inclusion we want can be achieved only if we speak out against the intolerant climate that has set in on all sides. So, they ruin where they're going with it. They had a good idea, a chance to put their nuts on the table and say, no, y'all got to stop this. And they completely ruin it with this sort of Trump derangement syndrome, which is a real thing. So this is actually what's happening right now. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. Because you can see in what they say about the right-wing demagogues, but they also say in the next paragraph, the free exchange of information, of ideas, and the lifeblood of a liberal society is daily becoming constricted, which all this is correct. While we come to expect this on the radical right, censoriousness, Jesus, is also spreading more wildly in our culture, and intolerance of opposing views, a vogue for public shaming and ostracism, which I just mentioned, and the tendency to dissolve complex policy issues in a blinding moral certainty. So the idea that they have is decent, right? They want this exchange of ideas, but what they're wrongfully trying to do is pin this on the opposite side, which is dishonest, because they control everything. They control your culture, they control your schools, they control your education, entertainers, and so forth. And this is, so what happened? They tried to soften the blow at the beginning, like, hey, you don't want to be aligned with Trump. We expect this from these types, the right-wing types. Wait a minute, y'all the ones doing it. So what ultimately this boils down to, they're upset. This is not an actual, they don't like cancel culture. No, what happened is they started coming for them. The snake started eating its tail. They started to eat their own. That's what they have a problem with. That's why they're freaking out. That's why they're upset. It's in the rhetoric throughout this entire write-up. So it's not even genuine. It's, okay, y'all doing a little, it was okay when you was doing it to them. When you came for, and it's still, you come for all these other people, but wait a minute, now it's crossing over into us. And remember, we're supposed to be the guys with the free thinkers, the open ideas, the liberals. So why they hijacked that term? Because they ain't liberal, but they hijacked it. Okay, you can have it. And there's a bunch of names here. They have Chomsky here. Obviously, we just Margaret Atwood. There's a bunch of educators, writers, podcast hosts, and so forth. Most of them leaning to the left. Basically, what they're just saying is they're trying to say that there's something wrong and trying to paint this liberalism and say that, well, we're about exchanging ideas and this is not good. But basically what's happening is that the leftists that they've fostered, right, that attitude that they've been fostering for really decades has come to fruition. And yes, it started with the Alex Jones of the world, but now they're coming for them. And because they're coming for them, they want to stop it. It's not even genuine, which is why they dishonestly paint this on the quote unquote right wing when it's them that's controlling everything, them that's censoring everybody. It's them. That's on your side. And I say this as a non-Trump guy, but I knew as soon as they said they have a powerful ally in Donald Trump, they have to try to soften the blow. They got a counter signal. See, look at us. We're also against these guys. We also don't like these guys. So why go at us? That's all this was. It wasn't even noble anymore once they went full derangement syndrome. It's a real thing. Completely ruined it with their Trump derangement syndrome. It's unfortunate.